All right, let's get right into it. We all remember that awful, chilling silence after the first universal snap, right? Half of all life just gone. But what if it happened again? Who would actually be left standing? It's a pretty terrifying thought, and let me tell you, the answer is not at all what you'd think.
Now, that is a bold statement, but it perfectly sums up what we're about to explore. We've all been trained to think that the strongest, the most powerful heroes, they'd be the ones to make it through. But what if that whole idea is just wrong?
And that right there is the big question, isn't it? If it's not about who can punch the hardest or who has the biggest energy blast, then what are the rules of this terrifying cosmic lottery? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
So, we have to completely reframe this whole problem. This isn't a battle you can win. It's more like a fundamental force of nature that you have to, well, sidestep. We're going to shift our focus from who's the best fighter to who, by their very nature, is built to slip through the cracks of reality itself. This right here lays out the new thinking perfectly. We're throwing out the old survival of the strongest idea. The new game is survival of the bizarre. We are not talking about fighting the snap. We're talking about finding and exploiting loopholes in biology, physics, and reality itself. Okay, so let's jump into our first category of survivors. These are the beings who might just make it because, get this, the snap doesn't even recognize them as living in the way you and I think about it. They are the ultimate exceptions to the biological rule. A synthezoid is the perfect example here. I mean, think about it. A synthezoid is built, not born. It's an unbelievably complex machine that mimics life so well it has consciousness. But at its core, it's not biological. So can you really erase something that was never technically alive in the first place? Vision is obviously the poster child for this. But the idea goes even further. Take someone like Groot. His biology is so alien, so plant-based. Does it even register on the same scale? And then you've got the Celestials and the Eternals. These guys are basically cosmic robots, constructs made for a purpose, operating on a whole different level of existence that's way beyond simple biology. So, what if you're not some kind of cosmic anomaly? Is there another way out? Oh, absolutely. Our second group of survivors are the ones who can pull off the ultimate magic trick. They just aren't there when the snap goes down. Here's their playbook. It's pretty simple. Step 1. Open a door to another place, say the mirror dimension. Step 2, just step through. By doing that, you've literally taken yourself off the game board. See, the snap is a universal event, sure, but it's tied to our universe. If you're not in it, you can't be affected by it. Simple as that. Now, this brings up a really fascinating little debate. What about characters who can become intangible or phase through things? They're still technically in our dimension, right? They're just vibrating at a different frequency. So could they just phase through the eraser wave? It's a total gray area, but it just goes to show you how many weird potential loopholes there are in cosmic annihilation. And that brings us to our last, and honestly, my favorite category. These are the survivors who don't have any special biology or reality-hopping powers. Nope. They might survive through sheer dumb luck, by being so small or so hidden that the cosmic force of the snap just misses them. Just look at this number for a second. It's almost impossible to even wrap your head around. When Ant-Man shrinks down into the quantum realm, he is so infinitesimally tiny compared to the rest of the universe, he might not even register. It would be like trying to find one specific atom in the entire ocean. It's totally plausible he'd just be overlooked. And there are other wild possibilities too. Could someone with a crazy healing factor just regenerate faster than they're being erased? What about a purely digital consciousness, a sentient AI that has no body to turn to dust? Or heck, what if you're just so far away, tucked into some isolated corner of the universe that you're literally off the map? These are the real wild cards. Okay, so we have covered a ton of ground, looking at a completely new way to think about surviving the absolute impossible. So let's pull it all together and quickly recap these new rules for who gets to see another day. So, to boil it all down, there are basically three main types of survivors. First, you've got your cosmic anomalies, like Vision, who make it because they don't even fit the definition of life. Second, the dimensional defenders, like Doctor Strange, who can literally just leave the reality that's under attack. And finally, the unseen, like Ant-Man, who might just get lucky by being too small or too remote to even find. So here's the bottom line, the most crucial point of all of this. When you're facing a force that erases half of all life, being the strongest person in the room means absolutely nothing. The true survivors are the ones who are different, the ones who can exploit the loopholes in the very fabric of existence. It's all about being a glitch in the system.
And that brings us to you. Based on these new rules, anomalous biology, dimensional travel, and just being plain overlooked, who else do you think could make it through? Who did we miss? The universe is a huge, weird place full of bizarre beings. Drop your best theories in the comments. Tell us who else you think could slip through the cracks.